Please like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
So as an adult here, I would characterize myself as a devout atheist. But as a kid, I did grow up going to church. And we went to a really nice church, actually. It wasn't super dogmatic, and it was really invested in like families and doing good in the community and kind of all the things church should do. And one of the ways that our church did that was there was always some sort of food drive going on, canned food drive kind of thing. And very often we would have a Sunday where all the kids in the congregation would have some sort of canned good, and at some point during the service, the kids would come up onto the chancel in front of the sanctuary, and they would have their canned goods, and they put in a box, and the minister would bless it, and it was all nice, and it was a nice way for kids to learn a little bit about giving and taking care of others in the community. And so for a lot of years when I was really young, my folks would just give us something, and we'd go up and we'd put it in the box, and that was that, and that was all good. So as we got a little older, my sister and I, there was a Sunday where my dad said, hey, why don't you guys go into the pantry, and why don't you pick something? Why don't you pick something that you'd like to give to another family in need? And we're like, all right. So we go in. This is the late 70s. It's suburbia. We have a wall of canned goods and mac and cheese and my dad's Old Spice. And so I'm looking at all these canned goods and going through it, and I see there's a can of mandarin oranges, and I was like all about mandarin oranges. I loved them so much. I'd open them up, eat the whole can. It was so good. So I kind of like slid that to the side. And so I'm going through, and I come upon this honkin' can of Veg-All. Now, if you don't know what Veg-All is, it's this really horrible cut vegetables. Canned vegetables aren't all that delicious anyway. They're really salty and everything. But Veg-All was particularly disgusting, and it had lima beans, and we just hated Veg-All. So I was like, yep. And so I grabbed the Veg-All, and meanwhile, my sister is having her own parallel process, and she's like, I've got creamed corn. And that was the thing she hated the most. So out we go. I've got my Veg-All. My sister's got her creamed corn. We're like... And my parents were putting their coats on for church, and my dad says, okay, did you pick something out? I said, yeah. He said, oh, okay. That's what you want to bring to the families? And I said, yeah, okay. So go to church, go through the whole thing, put it in the box, gets blessed by the minister. That's all good. So this is the time in our life where Sundays were very much a family day for us. And so typically after church, my grandparents would come over, and we would have some sort of like brunchy thing with pancakes and eggs and stuff and just spend time together as a family. But this particular Sunday was what my mom liked to call a Sunday dinner Sunday. And this was something she liked to do every couple months or whatever. And Sunday dinner Sundays, just what it sounds like, around 12:30, 1 o'clock, we had a Sunday dinner. And so it was usually sort of, more food, and you'd stay in your church clothes, and it was all that stuff. So this particular Sunday of the aforementioned Veg-All creamed corn was a Sunday dinner Sunday. And we get back to the house, and my mom had left a roast chicken in the oven when we left, so the house smelled so good. And there's chicken in the oven and all this stuff, and Nana and Pops get there, and we're all psyched. And we sit down to have dinner, and my mom puts the chicken down, and it's steaming, it's so yummy, and I'm waiting, and the rule was, of course, you don't touch anything, you don't serve yourself, you don't even talk about serving yourself until everyone's sitting at the table, and my parents are still kind of buzzing around doing their thing. And everybody's sitting down, my dad's finishing up, and he brings over the last two dishes, and God, I'm so predictable. So he comes over, and my sister gets a plate of creamed corn. I get a plate of Veg-All. For every test, there is a corresponding lesson. Sometimes the test comes before the lesson, and sometimes the lesson is crystal clear. And so very clearly, my sister and I were like, oh, man. And the funny thing was with my folks, this wasn't a punishment. It wasn't like we were shamed a whole bunch and everything. And they set it down, and my dad said, like, you thought this was good enough to give to somebody else. Is this what you want? And it was like, so he was right. So I didn't want it. So we ate the Veg-All, we ate the creamed corn, no chicken. No, but it was okay. It was okay. Like, I mean, it was awful, but it was okay. This really is, though, a lesson and a test that I have carried through my life. Perhaps not so literally, a little more metaphorically, but I definitely encourage you to think of this as a test you can lay over your own life. You can use Veg-All if you like, but am I giving out what I wish to receive back? And whether it's my words or my deeds or my actions, my interactions with my friends, my family, what do I do at work? Am I doling out Veg-All? Or am I giving you my mandarin oranges? Thanks.